Hello everyone, greetings from PayTap's technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTaps through our PT2 API endpoints. Throughout the series, we will walk you through the second integration type, which is the invoices. And for the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the frameworks used to integrate with PayTaps. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to start learning about one of the optional parameters inside our Invoices APIs, which is the user-defined parameters. So, let's get started. The first thing you should know is that you can find the full documentation for this part inside PayTap support portal under the article called the Invoices APIs Integration Manual. Now, navigating to step 3 over here and navigating down here to initiating the payment via the invoice endpoint, if we get down here to the request payload with all the optional parameter over here, we will see that one of the request or actually one of the optional parameter is the user-defined object. And the user-defined object or the user-defined parameters is simply used only for your sake or your detail's sake. So let's say, for example, you want to send a certain details or a certain parameter or a certain data along with the request, and you want to receive it once the payment is done inside the response. For example, some data related to other customer who's paying the invoice, maybe a customer reference, a customer type, an invoice type, or anything that is only used by your system. Again, this is not totally used by PayTabs. This is only for yourself, for your data request, for your details that you want to send and receive inside the payment response. So this is where we use the user-defined parameter. And here we are going to try it out. So actually we have 9 user-defined parameters, which means you can send up to 9 parameters data and receive these 9 parameters inside the response payload. So if we get back over here to our code, we will see that we have created over here a new object called user-defined, and to generate the user-defined object, we can get back up here, and we can see over here that we have made a generating function that will generate an object called user-defined, and for now I'm just going to send one user-defined parameter or UDF1. Of course you can send up to 9, and this will be something like the customer type. I'm going to say this is my customer type. For example, your store or your website or your system, your platform has different customer types for each region or something like that, whatever the business model you are trying to achieve over here. So for now, I'm just testing out. I'm going to send one user-defined parameter. I'm going to name it, this is my customer type. And over here I have named it return user defined, and of course I have saved it over here, as you can see inside the construct of the class over here to say user defined, and I'm passing it to my invoice object down here, as you can see it like that. So this is just what I did inside my code. An additional step that we are going to make a complete video for it, that I have created the callback URL, and the callback URL is the URL that you can receive the transaction details, the transaction response after the payment is done on it. So we will have a complete video clarifying the callback URL, and we already have one created inside the hosted payment page APIs playlist. It is the same parameter used for the invoices and the hosted payment page. So for now, I'm just created a callback URL. I have used a webhook site over here, as you can see, just to see the response that I will receive inside this URL. Let's paste it again, just like that. And let's see now what is happening. I'm going to initiate a simple payment using our code over here, our checkout page. Choose pay tabs. I'll proceed to payment. And as you can see, this is how the invoice is looking. I'm going to choose pay now. There is nothing really to be looked in inside the payment. Just create a very simple payment. That's it. Now, once the payment is done, supposedly You will receive the transaction details inside the callback URL. You'll receive a server-to-server request inside the callback URL that we've provided. And as you can see over here, what simply happened is the user-defined parameter that I have sent, I have also received, along of course with all the transaction detail, the payment result, I have received this user-defined parameter. Now, another thing about the user-defined parameter is that you can customize its label so it looks in the invoice PDF, or if you want to print the invoice and you want to show this custom defined or this user-defined parameter, Paytaps offers you with a user-defined label editing option inside your merchant dashboard. So basically all the invoices, as we said before, is created and found inside your merchant dashboard over here. And as you can see, this is the invoice I had just paid and I had just created like that. You can find it over here and you can find all the details related. Now, what I want to see is, you can see here, there's an option to download your invoice as a PDF. Now, what I want to do is, I want to use this custom label, or this label, I want it to be shown inside my PDF version of the invoice. And by the way, this PDF version, you can download it either by your merchant dashboard, and actually Paytaps also provide a PDF API that will allow you to download your invoices via PDF and via our APIs, and we will dedicate a video to that. Now over here you can see we want to edit this label and we want to show it inside our PDF version. So what we are going to do is we are going to navigate to the profile inside our merchant dashboard, and you will see over here custom invoice label. I'm going to edit, and as you can see, there's other labels for other parameters, but we want the user defined parameter. And for example, I'm going to name the first one, which is customer type. I don't need to have it like this. I could name it without any underscores or anything, and we will give it an Arabic name for the Arabic versions of the invoices. Let's say just a simple name. Yes, that will do it. And I'm going to display it. I will not make it mandatory. I'm going to update. Now let's do the same thing again. Let's get over here. Let's send this user-defined parameter that we have just sent, and let's see how this affects the invoice. I'm going to create another payment. I'm going to choose Paytaps. I'm going to proceed to payment. I'm going to pay it out. Actually, I don't need to pay it. If it's still in the pending case, I can go to my profile over here. I can go to my invoices. I'll see that I have created a new invoice. It's still pending. It's not paid. I can click on this invoice and I can download it as PDF, or I can use our API to do that. And once I open it, you will see that this custom parameter, or this user defined parameter, is now available inside the PDF. You can use this as you want. You can edit these labels as you want. It will give you a powerful feature if you have a systematic option for downloading your invoices, sending it to your customers, saving it inside your platform, whatever you want to do. This is an option that Paytaps offers you in order for you to edit the label of the user defined parameters. Now if I get back over here, I don't want this and I don't want this. I want to pay my invoice like that. Let's pay it now. 3D secure. As you can see, we have received another response over here, and I have the same customer type, same user defined, and I will get back to my merchant dashboard. We'll reload. As you can see, it's now paid. Now I can go and download the PDF again, and you will see that I have the PDF as paid, the invoice story as paid. I have my custom label, my custom user defined label inside my PDF, and actually you will find also all these details regarding the user defined and the invoices editing labels for the user defined. If we just, yes, let me change my language. If I just said over here invoice user defined, as you can see, you can check out this solution article that will guide you through the user-defined parameter and how you can recheck this edit and how you can make it mandatory or display it inside your PDF. And again, we will learn how to download the invoices via PDF in a following video inside this playlist. So let's move to the next video.